Now that you have a vision, you know what you want, and you know your why, in this video we'll talk about your first step to start organizing your life. The number one thing you need to start with when thinking of living an organized life is decluttering. But what does decluttering really mean? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, declutter means to remove things you don't need from a place in order to make it more pleasant and more useful. When you read this, you might think, well, of course I want to have a more pleasant and more useful space. However, this process can be a little tricky because you might encounter some resistance to let go of things that you were not aware of, or you might have to deal with old beliefs or paradigms that you didn't know that they were there. It is my goal today to give you some tools to declutter faster and easier. So let's get started. Number one, choose a category item or a particular room. Whatever you choose, have these 3 baskets or bags ready. So whatever items you touch can be divided into to keep, to toss, or to donate. Category items. If you choose to start with category items, choose a category that is easier for you. Please don't start with books or photographs because it will take you longer. And the point of this is to have small wins so you can gain momentum. So let's say you choose to start with your underwear. Take all your underwear out and place it on your bed or on a flat surface where you can see it properly. Then you choose all the items that are an easy yes to keep. These are all the items that you totally love, that they totally fit, and that you totally want to keep. If for whatever reason you find an item that you don't want to get rid of because of sentimental reasons, just place it somewhere else until we get to the sentimental items. Because this is not an underwear item anymore, it's a sentimental item. Once you choose the items that are an easy yes to keep, now choose the items that are an easy no-no. These are the items that you're keeping because you paid big money for them, but you don't like them. Or the ones that you know that they don't fit. Or the ones that you know that your grandma will disapprove because they're full of holes or their elastic band doesn't work anymore. These are the items that are too tight in all the wrong places. Now that you know what items to keep and what items not to keep, there are always items that are gonna be in the between. And these are the someday maybe. These are the items that your fantasy self tells you that you will wear in the future when you lose the weight or when you gain the muscle. These are the items you think you want to keep because of that just in case or the zombie apocalypse. These are the items that might bring you guilt because they are brand new and they were a bad purchase, or they just still work and somehow you feel guilty of letting this go. However, this resistance that you may have may be easier to overcome by asking yourself some questions. Do I really want to keep this item knowing that it will take the space I need right now? Can someone else benefit from this item? Is my bank account going to lose any money by placing that item in the donation basket? Have I used this item in the last year? Could I live the next 3 months without this item? Is this item worth the real estate it will occupy? If after these questions you still don't know what to do with this item, I will recommend to place this item in the time will tell box. This is just a box or a basket where you place all your items that you're uncertain of and you give them a deadline. If you're getting value out of this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you love it, subscribe for more videos like this. So let's say you put your Shamrock St. Patrick's Day socks in the time will tell box and you give it a deadline of 6 months. After 6 months, you go to this box, open it up, and realize you haven't used this item in 6 months. You haven't missed it, and you probably forgot you had them in the first place. Now you can give yourself permission to let it go. When decluttering items, please don't worry about the organization part yet, or how they're gonna look pretty, or everything well folded in a drawer. That part will come later, I promise. Just focus on decluttering as fast and as much as you can. The second way to declutter is by choosing a room or room segmentation. I will recommend to start with a room that will make a great impact if decluttered, but that will not feel overwhelming. For example, think about the 2 rooms that you spend the most time in. Now, choose the one that will be easier to declutter for you. Once you choose your room, divide the room into 4 segments and start from there. Think about what you really want to keep in this place. One trick that I have is to make this segment to look ideal by removing all the things that don't belong and placing the things like they should be. Once you do this, take a look at the things that you removed and ask yourself, do they have a home? Do they need a new home? Or do they need to leave your house altogether? Let me give you an example. I can say that my TV room is one of my segments. Ideally, I don't have to have so many yoga mats and maybe I can do without some of the blankets in the corner basket. And definitely the big white puff should have a permanent home instead of being on top of everything. So by making the segment the way it should, I was able to remove 2 blankets that may be a blessing to someone else, donate the gray pillow seat, and find a permanent home for my son's big white puff. I don't necessarily have to get rid of all the things that I removed from that segment. I might just need to find a new home for them, or just declutter and donate or toss them. Now, commit to finish at least one segment of your room. Seeing results will motivate you to keep decluttering the rest of the segments and will give you momentum. I would love to know which method would you prefer to start decluttering, the item category or the room segmentation. Please let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, remember, keep calm and keep organized. Cheers.